Welcome to CrashMagic. Today we're going to look at the card trick Magic Spell. Let's start this trick then by giving the cards a bit of a mix up. Okay, and now I'm going to spread the cards out, and I want you to take one of the cards, totally free choice, any card that you'd like. This one. Okay, so I want you to look at that card, don't show it me, make sure you remember it, and then put it back on top of the pack. That's perfect. Let's give the cards a little bit of a mix, and let's give them a bit more of a mix. Let's put these back on like that. Right. I'm now going to try and find your card. Obviously I've not seen it at all, so it's not going to be easy, but we're going to have a go. Hopefully when I get to your card I'll get some sort of sense that it's your card. Okay, not feeling anything at the moment. Let's put that one with that one. Right, let's put that one there. I'm going to put that heart with that one. Not really getting any feeling at the moment, but hopefully when we get your card we'll be able to find it. There's a couple of 8s here, I'm going to put those both down here. Six. No, I don't think the 6 was it. Four. Where am I going to put the 4? 4 can go on top of the ace, I think. About halfway through the pack, I'd guess. There's a couple of clubs down here. I might keep these ones together. And there's a 4 and a 6 if we put the 5 there, I think, with those two. Still a little way to go. Must admit I'm starting to sweat a little bit that I hope we haven't missed it. That can go on there. Ooh, 7. Is that your card? No, don't think it is. No, we'll carry on. Got about 10-15 cards left, something like that. I don't think it's this one. There's not many left now. There's not many left. don't seem to have found your card, and yet I do seem to think that I have found it. Oh, hang on a sec. I think I can see it. Is that a 7 and a H? Was your card the 7 of hearts? Well, I hope you enjoyed that trick that I call Magic Spell. It's a really nice one, I think, and it's a real good kicker ending where the spectator thinks that you haven't been able to find their card, and then all of a sudden you can reveal that you can know what their card is. So I'm going to show you how to do the trick now. It's a nice easy one to learn. It's another impromptu trick, so again there's no setup involved at all. You can just take any old pack of cards. You can give the spectator the cards to shuffle if you like. You can shuffle them as well, as much as you want. The only key thing is, once the shuffling's done, whether you've done it or the spectator's done it, you need to glance at the bottom card. So in this case it's the Jack of Hearts. That's the card we need to remember. That's our key card. So when you've done that, you can offer them as normal or spread them out on the table and ask for the spectator to pick a card. They've got totally free will, of course, to pick any card they want, and you of course ask them to look at that and remember that, and while you do that you can collect the cards back up in your hand ready. So they will look and remember the card, and then what we now need to do to start with is to get their card, the 5 of hearts, just on top of our key card, the Jack of Hearts. So there's a number of ways you can do this, a number of different shuffles, cuts, etc. But I'll show you the way that I did it in the performance. It's quite an easy way of doing it. So the way I did it was to do an overhand shuffle, but I grip their top card with my thumb and the bottom card with my fingers. So as I pull the pack away, the top card and the bottom card stay in place, and in doing that their chosen card goes straight on top of the bottom card, the Jack of Hearts, and then we just continue with the overhand shuffle on top. Of course at normal speed you can't see that at all. So now we've got their card on top of our key card. The next step is we want to get both of those cards just a little way up in the pack, say 8, 10, 12 cards up, no more than that really, and you'll see why in a bit. So again, numerous ways of doing this, different shuffles, holding that stock in place and shuffling it up slightly. But again, during the performance all I did was split the pack into a number of piles, say 5 piles, and I made the first pile quite a small pile. And then I just placed the bottom, which of course is our key card and their card above it, on top of that pack, and then just seemed to randomly pick up the other piles and put them on top. Again, to the spectator it just looks like you're mixing the cards up a bit more. So then we turn the cards over this way, face up, and we say to the spectator that we're going to go through the pack and see if we can find their card. So of course what we're ultimately aiming to do is spell out their card as you lay them down. But of course at this point you don't know what their card is, which is why you don't want it too far down in the pack. You only want it a few cards down. But if you start, and normally you know you're going to have the value here and you're going to have the suit here. So you can start by laying the first cards down, just sort of, you can almost do them in this sort of arrangement, because you know that whatever the value or suit is, you're going to be able to use those cards to form the shape. So once you've gone a few down, of course you can just move the cards aside slightly, so even before you get to their card you can see there's my key card, that's their card, 5 of hearts, and now of course you can plan on how you're going to spell out their card. Normally I would then start marking out almost the edges of the value of the letters basically. So for the hearts here I might put one here, I might put one here, knowing that I'm then going to fill in this section and across with cards. of course the last thing you want to do is start spelling the letters straight away and make it obvious, because it's going to be too obvious straight away what you're doing. So you want to put the cards down in seemingly a random fashion. Of course we're trying to spell 5 over here as well. Again, I'm trying to do it as I'm facing you and you're the spectator. I'm trying to spell it out in front of you. If the spectator's next to you, you might want to spell it facing this way. You can of course spell it upside down and opposite ways, so sometimes then it's harder for the spectator to see what you're doing, and of course then you've got the grand reveal at the end that you can ask them to come round the side or the back of the cards and reveal their chosen card. So in this case we then just go ahead dealing out the cards seemingly in a random fashion, where of course we're spelling out their the value and the suit of their card. It's a really good trick, and of course the fact that this is fairly near the top as you deal them off here as well, their card, it's always good to see their face when they see their card going down and you've not named it or seen it. So once you've laid all your cards out, you've created the shape of their card and their value. Like I say, I would often leave gaps in between here to fill in right at the end, and then the way I always like to finish is to say, well, I didn't seem to manage to find your card, but yet somehow I do seem to have found your card. Ah yeah, now I see it, and then I show them the shape in the cards. I really like this trick. It's a very visual trick, of course, and like I say, the fact that the spectator thinks that you've not managed to find their card, all of a sudden to get that kicker ending at the end is it's a great effect. Well, that's the end of my video. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe. Please leave any comments down below, and see you soon.